Welcome, race fans, to Lago Maggiore for the final time live this SVR season. My name is Webbo here, and my huge apologies for forcing everybody to be a little bit late today. My previous race ran on, as I know a couple of you were kind enough to tune in to find out what was going on. I hope that I can get the nod from you on audio that things are a little bit better, and I sound like I'm actually in the same room as you folks, and we are going to get you some trackside action momentarily. Then what happens here on this is we are going to have a two-shot quali. Effectively, every driver is going to get two full racing laps in, and what will happen then is we will organise the grid based on start times manually. So the best thing I can do is probably give you a driver's POV on the way through as we just have a quick look at these all new beautiful liveries on board the cars here, and a big thank you to everybody. Hopefully, Scabby, thank you so much. Hopefully I'm sounding a little bit better. I had some feedback that I sounded a bit far away and tinny, a little bit like I was a trackside commentator and you prefer to sound that I sound a little bit closer nearby to what's going on. But a big thank you to our sponsors and our teams, and hopefully you can see on our screen there that things are just showing. I'm just going to move things around just ever so slightly for you, just manually here, to try and make sure that you get the very best view of the action, and you can see everything happening, and the detail that you absolutely need to get here on the race. So bear with me just a second as I try and get everything ready for you, and get everything positioned as it should be. So we have we have these new liveries, as I was mentioning. We also we're not going to be able to use our Hector AI engineer today, but I'm going to try and give you at least one driver's POV, and that is going to be Copa's here on screen. So fans of Copa, and I know that there are many, will be able to enjoy this one. Here then we have Dirtbag Larry with a clear run into turn one. Then we'll just drive with one driver and we'll drive with another. Ignore the positioning left of your screen, because that is false at this stage. So just remember, you've got Copa on board, inset in the lower right corner of the screen, and we are on board then with Larry in the main set. So obviously get a really good feel for what these VR drivers are going through, and this is Dirtbag Larry then heading into the tricky turn 5. It's much faster than it looks on paper. This is the official turn 6 with that white curb on the inside. Then we're going to be heading into the Yahoo S's section next up. We have absolute fantastic all-stars here in the lineup for GT3. Some, in fact, are driving both GT3 and the S1 SF23 cars on alternate weeks, which is some going, as Larry, of course, first on track, is getting purple sectors. Those were the S's of turn 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 as we head downhill, then back uphill again for the apex of turn 12, which means you can brake really, really late and run out wide there, as Dirtbag Larry has just done, into the next mini S's section. Just an S section of turn 13 and 14 that are flat out, even in GT3 machinery. And then you've got to judge the braking and positioning into here. We see quite a few overtaking opportunities into this turn 15, because it condenses back down into an even slower corner into turn 16, and then you've got two left-handers to finish out this clockwise circuit over a crest, and then it's really important getting your exit right out of this next corner. So coming out of the final corner, turn 18, excuse me, as we go under the barrier, and Dirtbag Larry will set his first time. That will be a 55.890, and we'll just see what Beragos manages, who's got to be one of the hot favourites here, as has Bijan, actually, come to think of it, and they'll run through. They only have tyre life for two back-to-back runs, and then we will set the grid. Copa has gone second. Beragos' first lap was notably on the poorer side, and Dirtbag Larry a long way clear of the order at this stage. Beragos will ride perhaps with him as one of the key favourites. Senor Fark there in P6 blew the field away in the AN division, and is in his official division seat here at the moment for P6 at the moment on the in his car. This is Beragos driving for the Delesi team, as we will continue through the course of this round. So let's hopefully we'll get a better view of our sponsors once we get onto the off-board camera positions, but we have 7 different sponsored teams here, as I must say hello to Oscar, to Ashley, to Larry, Gareth there, Twinkletoe, the Hobbit, great name, Twinkletoe as well, and a big shout out to Red's dad as well, Dad of Red, and Red, the Red Baron there in P8 at this stage as we ride with Beragos. This is, remember, just a cycle through to try and find the best lap you can. He's 3.5 tenths slower than I think his best so far. Dirtbag Larry's lap is good in the position on the circuit, but Dummy has a 55.375. So with the provisional pole position at this stage, this is just qualifying. This is so that our stewards can record the qualifying session and make sure nobody was particularly hampered one way or the other. Let's go through then, see if Beragos can pick up a position here, a better lap. Not this time out. Bijan comes across the line and he doesn't improve on his second lap. It's these soft tyres that I don't think are going to be helping our drivers. Here comes Senor Fark as he goes across the line. He's no quicker either. Dummy with the provisional pole, looking safe for Team Mega at this stage. Niki Lauda, the Austrian, crosses the line and does go faster, but by only 0.3 of a second. The next one is going to be Red across the line, and he's Red on the timing beam at the same time as well. Mappy next. It's across the line. How is his lap going to go? It is still that tiny bit worse. Dinosaur, another big favourite here. One of our league owners elsewhere, who has decided to drive here at this SVR, this VR exclusive Simracing World Championship. As Dinosaur crosses the line, he goes much faster on that second hot lap. Yes, I'm going to have to say this driver's name. Uncle Pants is in, has managed to set himself a 56.9. As Flash, again, another very, very good driver, possibly just on that white line on the exit of the corner, goes on a 55.674, and it's not quite there with the speed and time of Dummy. I've been asked specifically by Tequila Monkey not to follow him on track because he is feeling very under the weather. We have a very poorly monkey, and we hope that he gets better soon. But it's Dummy who secures the pole position time. I'm just going to try and find his car, and then we can see what that Team Mega car looks like. Mega Transport, and they've got plenty of stickers on the car as well, and it's looking very, very nice out there. Let's see if we can get a quick look at all of our liveries before we get underway. Red and black, red on black, I should say, for Team Mega. We have the fan favourite, the neutral favourite Burgerstein Transport Service car here in the teal and white. We have the purple and black of Kimmy's nursery school here, and the racing team colours designed by Soulshock himself. This is the Coach Dave Academy car, and that is red with white and some shades of black and black fade down to the ground there. Never lift is the advice from Coach Dave. I'm not sure that's official advice. Brokaga are green and black and green again, and looking very smooth out there as well, coordinating those stickers beautifully. As Dinosaur in the Mega. Then we've got the black and gold of Jann Placht, and the gold is looking beautiful out there where Sock is driving, and they've gone for the yellow. They could have gone for gold Webbo comms stickers to coordinate. I give full freedom to all of our drivers to change the colours of my Webbo stickers and to create their own, in fact, as Flash has parked up on the grass to make sure we get the best possible view. The Scottish Flash Gordon here, a saviour of the universe. Can he actually perform in the finish? And we've got Dirtbag Larry racing for the Coach Dave Academy car as well out there. This is Beragos for the Delesi car with the moustache on the bonnet of the Porsche. That's something else, isn't it? Great stuff from Beragos and the Delesi squad, having a bit of fun. And as I mentioned in a previous race, the rumours are that the Delesi team have to drive with the Dutch national anthem playing constantly on their team radio. And they've used the Star Wars Webbo stickers. I do like the humour on the D'Alessi squad car here, as Bijan is rocking the Buckerstein transport service car as well. Well, Senor Fac, another D'Alessi driver. Is that different liveries? No, that's more of an official corporate friendly D'Alessi livery without the moustache on board there. And we will organise those fast laps very, very soon. Let's join Senor Fac, shall we, on board. I think he's still running hot here, but he only gets one set of tyres, so I don't think anybody is going faster through here. And there you have our drivers just all slowing down here. Tequila Monkey has stopped on the line. Senor Fac goes through. I've been given official advice, not necessarily from the Croatian Senor Fac himself, but by Empire, for the pronunciation of his surname, of his name, Fac. We are not having any jokes at his expense. As Beragos and Senor Fac go across the line there, and are making the best run here for the sponsors. Scavy's with us. We've got Sparky Watts with us as well, and Kim is here cheering on Tequila, despite the fact that Tequila is feeling very, very sick. So hopefully, Kim, you can make him a bowl of chicken soup to finish with, or blend it and he can drink it mid-race. Pigna Gaming cheering on Mega, Dinosaur and Dummy, of course, and I'm grateful to all of you for showing up here at the brand new GT3 so-called S3 division. That doesn't mean it's the third fastest division, it's just the way we've numbered them. So it is the GT3. These are the fastest drivers in the GT3 group. Hopefully we'll be able to see the S4 GT3 group coming up soon on the channel, on this channel, but to be decided exactly when that will be. It won't be today, because this is number 3 consecutive races for me, and I still haven't eaten my lunch. It's Senor Fac then, but as I said before, Dummy with the pole of 1 minute 55.375, and there you have his self-designed Team Mega Lexus livery. Mega, their first choice car was this Lexus, and we're all going to be hoping that the drivers can get on top of their cars and in a good way. Inset picture, the inset video is our Comacopa. Remember, we are going to be fixed with just one driver cam today, I'm afraid, but we will look forward to later in the season. I think we could probably even afford to make that a little bit bigger, can't we? Here, so we can stretch this out a little bit so you can see that. And hey to Biggerwood as well. Great to see Biggerwood here. If you haven't said hello yet, please do so. Please remember that on this channel, the tips, the thanks super chat is now open. So if you wish to make a donation, then you can absolutely feel free to. Little detail out there on the Mega car I hadn't noticed before was that Dummy has a nice crash test dummy, and Dinosaur has a dinosaur sticker next to his name, which is pretty awesome. Hi to Cutie as well, league owner and inaugurator of this fine action. Dirtbag Larry picked up the victory, but let's have a look at the actual results. I'm hoping one of my fine SVR friends will be able to DM me the qualifying results, because I scramble to spot everything correctly. So it looks like for sure Dummy is the pole position sitter. Senor Fac has a 55.4. Let's go to the next screen. What did Flash do? A 55.6. So Flash will be on the front row with Senor Fac. And then it will be Dirtbag Larry and Senor Fac, who will be on the second row. I think I'm getting that right. I'm waiting to see if anyone cares to actually send me anything. And thank you so much for a tip there from QT as well. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I will do my best there. I tell you what I'm going to do is probably move this SVR sticker here, because I'm not convinced it's in the right place for today's racing. There you go. Let's move that over there, and then you can see what we need to see. All in beautiful color. I haven't got the grid. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing track of who's on what position on the grid, but we will soon see it when the grid has been decided. I think our drivers will sort us out here. I better just turn off Comacopa's screen while he's on a picture-in-picture view there. Checking so that Soulshock can set grid, says Soulshock. So he's waiting for that. I think the tower on the right-hand side will get selected in the correct order, actually. So yeah, big thank you to Cutie there. That's very kind of you. As Comacopa currently sitting P1 on that list, but I think that's what's going to happen. Hi to Oscar. I have said hello, but perhaps you didn't see. And hi to Vicinity as well, team captain of Mega Racing. I'll be very pleased to see that his driver dummy got the pole position ahead of some favourites among the crowd that might well have been Flash, might have been Dirtbag Larry, and especially Senor Fak. So let's wait to see if our grid will be selected from Soulshock, and it will appear on the right hand side of our screen. I hope it will. Flash has not done so, and some among you might suggest that perhaps Flash and Dirtbag Larry ought to start at the back if they don't get on with this. Let's see if I can do something about it, shall we? While we're on here, and then we can set the grid. Otherwise, I think they would end up at the back of the grid if doing so. Actually, Soulshock, who's hosting the session, of course, hasn't checked in, and that's fair enough. But it should be dummy on pole. Dirtbag Larry has now gone on to the top, and I feel bad calling him Dirtbag all the time. He has he has been on our channel here in the live chat saying things kindly in his real name, or at least the name he's chosen for his run there. And I should just refer to him as Larry, as most of us know him. But yeah, let's see if we get everybody checked in correctly, and then hopefully we will be able to get everybody in order. Flash has checked in, so I'm waiting to get this all set up. We have a 60-minute race. It's time-bound today, so it will be slightly flexible when it comes to the decision on how the cars are going to run through. We have should be 14 drivers for you. Mappy still hasn't entered either. I don't think he's holding things up too much when it comes to the grid. Let me see if anyone has been kind enough to message me with the starting grid. Not yet. Not yet, QT. I don't know if you can see it anywhere, but if you can, then DM me, and we'll try and get that visible to everybody. I think things are happening now, because I think that means our last driver. Oh, did we lose somebody, or have we only got 13 today? The required tyres today are going to be the hards and the mediums. The weather. We won't get any rain today, but I don't think the temperatures have been particularly good. I think it's a cold and chilly Italian day on the near to Cannabio, on the shores of Lake Maggiore, very close to the border with Switzerland. It's an extreme northwest of Italy. And if you're interested in this kind of thing, let's have a quick look at those settings. You can see C4, C5. Some change to the weather, and we're also going to be doing a day to night cycle with the speed, the time elapse. So it's going to go 4 times. We're going to elapse over the course of the race today. We will pass 4 hours of daylight change. Then we are running 6 litres a second, quite quick on the refueling speed, and 6 times 3 times on the tyres and fuel. If that's of interest to you. Just checking all our settings there. Biggerwood might be someone who would be able to send me the grid as well, unless that's what he says Flash or someone else are going to do for me. But it would be good. Sparky saying great job from Larry. Yes, indeed. Indeedy doody, he is. So what is going to be next for us? Well, on the channel we will have coming up the S4, or the second GT3 group. Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the calendar. I probably should have prepared this ahead, and I apologise for having not done. But in terms of the calendar, the next sequence of races on successive weekends, starting next Sunday, will be Watkins Glen, starting with the AN division, with yours truly appearing. I'm certainly not going to say starring at Watkins Glen for 2 weeks here at SVR, and then we'll be going on to Suzuka for round 3. Round 4 is into Lagos, and then heading north to Daytona, only a little way north there into Daytona. We go to Tokyo Expressway, Catalonia, Kyoto Driving Park, Red Bull Ring, Dragon Trail in Croatia. Home race for Senor Fak. I'm hoping for a good home livery for that one. Then Spa-Francorchamps, Nürburgring and Road Atlanta, finishing the season with a divisional playoffs at Fuji Speedway. Looks like Tequila has been the man for me here. Dummy with the fastest time of 1:55.375 ahead of Senor Fak, a 55.4681. Less than a tenth of a second, in fact, between the two drivers. We have Flash at 55.6, Larry at 55.8, and then miles away in comparison, Komakopa, I jest of course, on a 56.091, starts 5th. Bijan starts 6th with Red in 7th place, with Mappy starting 8th. Niki Lauda in 9th. Will start with a time of 1:56.976. We get a 1 minute timer on the clock here for our race, thanks to SoulShock. We have Uncle Pants will start in 9th position, with Beragos, very strangely, Beragos and Tequila Monkey in 11th and 12th. And I know Tequila Monkey's feeling unwell, and I know that Beragos splits his time between S1 I should say, and Tequila Monkey. There you see Larry congratulating Flash, because he is now an A+ driver on his driver rating. We've been following his progress, and you can also follow Komakoba's progress, as he does fantastic live streams and videos as well. So do check out those guys' channels. I think Flash is on Twitch, but Komakopa is on YouTube. We have Sock and Dinosaur on the last row of the grid in 13th and 14th position. Thanks so much to Tequila for that one. We're about to go trackside for the race, and as I say, we'll switch on Komakopa's picture-in-picture there, and hopefully we'll be ready to race for you. I would sort the screen out, but there's absolutely no point. So we get a nice countdown on time, everybody getting ready for a 1 hour race here around Lago Maggiore. Let me know your predictions for the final standings, particularly the podium if you can, and we will try and hold you to those predictions by the end of the race. I'm going to turn off driver names because it ruins things a little bit for me. As Dummy is on the pole position with Senor Fak alongside. Let's get going for the start of the GT3 divisions. S3 here at SVR at Lago Maggiore, and it's dropped the clutch and go, go, go. Both Kimi's cars moving left very quickly towards the pit wall at the start of the race, as Beragos gets away with that heavier moustache livery on the front, as Dummy then steals a march into the inside, and Flash bosses it straight into second place, leaving Red following behind in that third place as well. Red doing a great job on his start there with the unicorn power of the My Little Pony unicorn on the front of the car as well. Senor Fak barges into Red on the way through the corner. Let's just have a look how that felt on board, shall we, with Red here as we run on the way into turn 3 here. We've got a good line. We should be able to sweep across and then try to close the door, and then unfortunately we end up with one of our rivals on the inside, Senor Fak, going through the order, and it's hard tyres, the order of the day for the drivers here, with Flash, the JPI Yamplacked Interiors car, screaming into that second position. Senor Fak and Flash will go wheel to wheel through the S's. Fantastic. And it's Senor Fak who's actually on the medium tyres at the start of our race, who gets a good run through the S's. Can he launch an attack down into turn 12? The famous picturesque hairpin here, but no, Flash was not in the slightest bit vulnerable through that section of the racetrack. So running through, then it's Dummy ahead of Flash, ahead of Red and Dirtbag Larry, with Senor Fak in third place. We have Bijan, the lead Buckstein driver, running side by side now with Larry for Coach Dave. And that is that famous overtaking position then into turns 15 and 16. But he needs to leave a gap to the inside as Larry goes next to him. This is absolutely fabulous racing for our drivers. You see the car of Komakopa picture in picture on the lower right-hand side of your screen. And we won't spend a great deal of time watching him trackside as a result. But he's out there just behind this battle right now, and just disappearing out of the bottom of your screen. That's Larry on the inside, Red defending hard. Larry on the medium tyres and leaving a bit of pace out there as Bijan goes over the grass and picks up some dirt on those hard tyres. It's not going to help his project here, as Komakopa, usually a Porsche driver, is currently having to wrestle with a Supra and get used to it here. Red is challenging Senor, being challenged by Larry. Senor Fak is right with Flash and dives down the inside into turn 5. And what a fantastic maneuver. And then it looks like it's Larry who's gone off the circuit in the background. Let's try and catch what happened. This is the overtake. Moving into turn 5. Senor Fak from some way back has the inside line, and then Flash runs through. And that is Dirtbag Larry, leaving the braking way too late and unfortunately heading off the circuit. So Larry down to 7th, Beragos moving up into 8th position from near the back of the grid, from the penultimate row of the grid. We are going to have some fast boys racing on the way through after the start of this race, which has been somewhat problematic, either in qualifying or the main race. Red is still in 4th place. He now has I was going to say he now has a car behind him, but has Red just got Flash? No, he is ahead of Bijan. So Flash fighting now back to try and get that position on Senor Fak. Dummy is checking out at the lead of this race. 1.5 seconds after about 1.5 laps, he has opened the gap as Senor Fak on the medium tyres kicks out onto the dirt, heading through turn 17. This is the final corner coming up in the Porsche. Good balanced race car, but it has a nasty habit of kicking out at the back end with the almost rear mounted engine. It is a mid-round mounted engine, but it's right on that rear axle. Certainly some of the weight on that rear axle as Flash then in the very well favoured Lamborghini Murcielago, Huracan, excuse me. Red is defending incredibly hard then currently ahead of Bijan. Red's on the mediums, Bijan on the hard tyres, but Red is the one doing the defending right now, as then Komakopa has a little look up the inside of the Nissan GTR of Bijan and can't quite make a move through. Perhaps a little circumspect for a moment there, and he will try and make the overtake in a few moments' time, I think. But Red perhaps holding the drivers up at the moment. Car number 47. I'm struggling at times, I must say, to fully appreciate the Kimi's Racing Team race numbers. I think we need some standardized text for some of these, because they are proving to be too difficult for your commentator to make any sense of, as Komakopa in the Supra runs out onto the dirt. I think you might be getting a little ahead of ourselves, or maybe even behind ourselves, with Komakopa's POV on the bottom right. But yeah, hopefully it's adding to the experience a little bit here from what we are able to offer at this stage. Hector is coming for you, as you saw in the S1 race, and I hope you're supporting SVR by visiting at SVR-Racing on YouTube and following the playlist of live races and replay races that come in. The official broadcast all on the SVR playlist on both this channel and on at SVR-Racing. You'll find everything you need here, though. The battle for the lead of the race is now down to under 0.3 of a second, as a very smart looking Lexus is struggling, and a very dirty looking eventually will be a Delesi Porsche here. That's Senor Fak with the fastest lap. He should be faster than Dummy at this stage, all things being equal with those medium tyres. He's trying to find a way through. Dummy playing a pretty good game at this stage and running out of turn 2. A very slow start to the lap here at Lago Maggiore, and some really smart looking cars as well. I absolutely love what the drivers have done and the designers have done. Some of our liveries have been approved by the sponsors, not all of them just yet, but hopefully we will get there and have the official the official sponsorship sorted. This is Senor Fak trying to make a move, and Dummy defending hard. This is the lead of our race. We still have, I hope at least, everybody still with us in the race. We've got close battles throughout. This is the Jan-placked Lamborghini Huracan driven by Flash, I think one and only A+ driver, but it doesn't mean he has a right to pole position or the lead of the race, as he knows better than anybody else. He certainly has his hands full here with these top-notch GT drivers. This is Bijan in 4th. Larry back into 6th place, having overtaken Komakopa thanks to the tyre difference, at least partly to explain that. Beragos up from the penultimate row of the grid with a slightly creased and dented looking Porsche is in 8th place. And Tequila Monkey, I'm pretty sure, will have the adrenaline flowing right now. So I think he's got gold mirrors because he is the reigning champion of the S1 division. Tequila Monkey switching codes, not happy with being champion of one division. He wants to try and become a champion in 2 different disciplines. Uncle Pants and Nicky Lauda 10th and 11th. The opposite way around, with Mappy in 12th and Sock in 13th. Dinosaur at the back of the grid at the moment, plotting his return to the front end of the racetrack and the race order later on, I'm sure. 14th place for the dummy teammate, Mega Driver in the Lexus. So we're top and tailing the order, but unfortunately we've just missed Senor Fak taking dummy, and I think it happened earlier on, unfortunately. So my apologies. We have to give everybody some screen time here. But that's Red getting past Flash. So Red, on those medium tyres, gets past Flash going into turns, the first 4 turns of the circuit. Let's have a look. How did Red do that? This is coming on through turn 1. And turn 2, it just went into the open door. Had some contact, but I think he was ahead at, well, certainly at the apex, but I think he was sufficiently ahead to be allowed the racing room. Flash has got back through again. Let's try and catch that in the replay buffer. Here we go, in towards turn 5, and Flash does to Red what he had done to him earlier on. There is just everything happening on this racetrack, and it is absolutely fantastic to see. Bijan still 5th, Dirtbag Larry still in 6th position. Bijan going for the inside line because Red has been caught offline and is starting to feel those medium tyres getting worse and worse at this stage. Heading in towards turn 12 they go. Red hanging on, leaving a gap on the inside in case Larry went for it. But Red down from 3rd just a few corners ago, down to 5th at the moment. But that's only 1 net loss from his previous lap. The hard tyres definitely coming to the fore now for our excellent S3 drivers here, as Bijan screams on through past Red at the long hairpin on the southwest of the circuit. The wind providing a bit of a tailwind into that corner. The drivers are going to have to be very, very careful of that eventuality. And here comes Larry. So it's mediums versus mediums here. Larry versus Red. Red tries to defend hard. Larry, and that looks like it's Beragos trying to pass another Kimi's racing car. Let's try and see exactly what befell these two, because Beragos, it looked like, was defending through here, but I think he's gone off all by himself, running wide, very wide on that exit, and then, unfortunately, well, you could argue an unsafe rejoin. I'm not quite sure at first glance. I'm glad I'm not a steward, because that is a tough one to call. But Beragos versus Tequila Monkey. In fact, Beragos said, I think, to Tequila he was going to have him off in the chat space at the start. That was only joking, but it's a difficult thing to joke about, because if you end up having a 50-50 call with somebody, that is tricky. So to explain in the steward room later. Do let me know what your view of that incident was, as we see Komakopa trying to keep it calm here. But Tequila Monkey and Beragos, now Beragos with a lot of work to do, having to regain positions. That was very tough. And then Beragos, it's the damage on the rear. I think that's new damage on the rear potentially, as a huge tank slapper took effect there on the car. We go into the S's here. A very unusual sight here to see Beragos making mistakes, but off onto the dirt, boom. There was the damage. It wasn't an accident as a result of damage. It was damage first. It was damage as a result of an incident and going off the circuit and getting those tyres dirty and struggling. So Sock might be about to overtake. It looks like Beragos is really, really struggling now, and it's a poor timing for him because he has the issue coming through there. You shouldn't drive with tequila anyway, says Kuros Kai. We're fairly casual about drinking and driving here in sim racing community. You can do whatever you feel like. As Dummy pits off the hard tyres, that feels unscheduled to me, but an early pit stop from Dummy before 1/4 distance is elapsed. So that was our leader. This is Dirtbag Larry. It is just action, action, action this race so far. They are doing their best to completely blow out my voice for the next few days as Larry and Red continue their fantastic battle. This is brilliant to see. Here is Dirtbag Larry then chasing down the Kimi's car, driven by Red, and Red is really holding his own here and doing a tremendous job. Kuroskai saying, I've been on a team with Floody, I know about drink driving. Fair enough. In sim racing, I must always say in sim racing, because on the road or on track, that's a big no-no for me. But yeah, on the Apex cam then with Dirtbag Larry, as we try and find a way past Red. We're both fighting here, this car and the one in front with the medium tyre wear. I'm so surprised to see Dummy coming in early, but that's just the kind of big brain strategy you come to expect. Good run for Larry. That's hazard lights on for a moment there from Red. What on earth is that all about? As it can't find a way through, Larry declines the option of the inside line into the corner, makes a complete mess of it, and through goes Komakopa. Brilliant sequence there from Komakopa. I know you've been able to watch it picture in picture, but let's see it from the chase cam from his perspective as he sees these guys fighting. Why Larry didn't go down the inside here, I'm not quite sure, as he runs in deep, and then Komakopa, well, he just went for the gap, and the gap presented itself to him. So Komakopa on the hard tyres should now be in a better stage with those tyres, I think, than the car in front and behind of him. But he's going to be suffering from the dirty air effect of the Ferrari, driven by the Kimi's Racing driver Red up ahead. Ahead of them, you can just see Bijan and Flash with Senor Fak well in the lead of this race at this stage, and opening the gap, not quite as convincingly as he did in the AN division. Nibbling away at the diffuser, which sticks out a long way of this Supra, is Larry, and not wanting, I think, to make a move that is ill thought out. What do you think about the Brokaga livery? Do you think we need to just do a bit of work on the metallic green accents to match the green nose and tail? I feel like we're straying towards a clash happening here on the cars as we see the Kimi's Racing Team Ferrari up close. Fantastic livery and stickers here from the drivers, and Solshock has been the main guy here for the designs. I note here though, however, that the GT3 cars do not have painted diffusers, Solshock. So I think we need to maybe fix that perhaps. I'm just trying to work out what the sort of eyebrow moustache type transfers are on the Brokaga car of Komakopa. There, above the headlights, between the headlights. Not quite sure what I'm looking at, whether I need to make a bit more sense of that. But here you go. Now look at this. You've got Tequila Monkey, and he's got his former team name on the tail of the car. On the engine cover there, Azul Racing, you can just see on the back window a cheeky little nod to his previous team, and the gold accents just leaving no doubt at all that he is indeed the champion of our first series. So a little bit of style, a little bit of class from Tequila Monkey. Down in the order though, we've got Nicky Lauda for Buckerstein being passed here by Dummy, who's fresh out of the pit lane on a new set of medium tyres. So Dummy coming through in car 33. Why, though, I have to ask, is Tequila not number one? I think Solshock's number one in our league. So maybe Tequila declined the right to use number one. And you can see the second Brokaga car doesn't have those eyebrows, moustache style accents on it. Senor Fak in and out of the pits in that quicker time, and he comes out for Delesi in 8th position. So behind Dummy. So Dummy actioning the undercut there significantly. No, those little shapes are there. They just don't have an outline on them. On the car. Anyway, Dummy back into the lead of the race, and I think has extended his gap to Senor Fak, and especially given the fact that Senor Fak now has 2 cars in between himself and the leader, the former leader of the race, perhaps the leader by rights of our race, Dummy, for Team Mega. Let's go, Bro Karga, says Lewis. Fantastic. Bit of partisan support there, which I like to see. Any other team supporters with us at the moment? Red is out the pits on new tyres. He's rejoined. So has Tequila Monkey, who now only has a 7-second gap between himself and his teammate. Yellow flag on the circuit. Yellow flag on the circuit. Who's that for? It's Senor Fak. Is it, who has been off and has damaged the front of the car? Senor Fak, who has been one of the quickest drivers. This is the aftermath of the accident, I'm afraid. And this is in the S's section that caught out Beragos. The Porsches just really not handling well into the S's, or certainly the mid part of the S's. And it seemed to be that second apex that was really catching our drivers out. So both Beragos and Senor Fak struggling with the Porsche around the S's section at the front of the racetrack. Down here in 11th, we have Sock for Yamplact Interiors. And Dinosaur up from the back of the grid and has brought that Lexus forward on the hard tyres here. And he's got the Gazoo Racing stickers, I think, on the car there, which is a Toyota racing team brand. So I'm slightly confused, but hey, it fits with the colour scheme. This is Beragos versus Dinosaur then, as they go through. And Beragos in the Porsche. Is he once bitten, twice shy as he heads into the S's? Perhaps we'll stay with these drivers as we run through. And I know that those of you who enjoy watching Comacopa's channel will be glad to see the picture-in-picture. I haven't been able to set everybody up with my own videos, but there's the overtake from Beragos into the final corner. The Porsche on newer tyres than Dinosaur's by a long chalk. It really shows into that final corner, but Dinosaur, surely that didn't stick. Wow, that was from absolutely way downtown. That was from Switzerland for Dinosaur. Let's have a look at this maneuver. This is the definition of a dive bomb. Watch this one as we go down, and there was never a hope of making the corner. The car is simply understeering right out, thankfully avoiding contact, and Beragos saw him coming, but Dinosaur, points for trying, I would say, but losing 3.3 seconds to Beragos, plus the hard tyre wear that he's on. Beragos on better tyres, but not everybody in VR can really tell what the drivers around them are doing with tyre strategy. So Dinosaur defending and trying to get his position back. It didn't quite work. We've got the 333 of Senor Fak then running, and Mappy at the back for Coach Dave here is running some 1 minute 22 away from the lead of the race. Has obviously had some problems throughout the course of our running. Flash leads us and is trying to make use of these hard tyres. Flashing the he's also flashing the lights as he goes through, and Bijan pits behind him. Will Comacopa do the same, I wonder? Not at this stage. Comacopa then comes on through, as does Dummy, who has pitted and is only Dummy has pitted and is only 9 seconds away from the lead of the race. So he's making use of these medium tyres now, as Comacopa, still on the hards that he started on, has been caught by the former leader and pole sitter of the race. Dummy going for a very wide line in towards this corner. You've got to make sure that you're not changing up as you've passed the crest, and Dummy almost does that and loses the rear of the car slightly. Car number 33 here, down into the inside for Dummy, and yeah, Comacopa letting him through quite comfortably. He tends to do that, Comacopa, tends to prefer to avoid contact, as still with the hazard lights on, Dummy. There's a good chance he doesn't know that in the cockpit. If he's in a voice channel with Team Captain Vicinity, maybe he'll tell him to turn them off, but it's not affecting things too much. If we were in the dark, it really would be, but thankfully not at the moment. It is lap 11. We have 38 minutes left to go of this race, and with the Gazoo Racing team branding on the Lexus, Dummy is only 9 seconds, just less than 9 seconds away from leader Flash, who is yet to pit. And his main rival at the moment, Senor Fak, had an incident, dummy. So his next main rival is going to be Bijan here in the Buckstein Transport Service car. We have a good battle going on, I think, further down in the order. Let's try and find that for you. Here they are. It is Dinosaur in 12th. It is Senor Fak. It is Larry. So Dinosaur on the old hard tyres, Larry on the old medium tyres. How does that work? Did he refuel and not change tyre, Larry? I've not seen that before, and perhaps that's the problem. Perhaps that is what is going on for Larry. That is a really, really weird situation to have worn tyres and a full tank of fuel. Let's just replay that for, well, reasons. I mean, it's fun, but I'm sure Larry won't like this. The rear just came completely round on him, unfortunately. Avoiding contact with the barrier and damage, at least, and then back into the order. Now, what is going on with his strategy here? That must be an accident. Uncle Pants pits from 10th. So Larry with the all-new racing helmet, representing Coach Dave Academy, and no sleep till Brooklyn on his rear bumper there. That's Beastie Boys track, if I'm not mistaken. As he runs through with damage on the rear. Sorry, not with damage, but certainly completely dead inside left tyre. He's going to do really well to get back to the pit lane without causing an incident or accident. Go into the pits, Larry! Okay, guys, please explain that one for me. I am an absolute loss what just went down there. Okay, your guess is as good as mine. As Bijan now in second place. Red is doing a great job here in the Ferrari, but that looks to be Flash versus Red once again. Red right round the outside, might hold on to the traction zone here, but no, Flash with a great maneuver to get into that third position at the moment. Here we go, down the hill, on board, outboard with Flash, I should say. Down we go into the corner, and nice easy one there. You can usually get away with stealing the entire apex there, like Flash just did, but stewards did give a warning that egregious and repeated apex stealing would not be tolerated. So you've got to not do it too often, and certainly not do it while I happen to be watching you. But all the race drivers' replays will be watched by the stewards. Red, I think, flashing the lights. I'm not sure he was happy about that pass. But sometimes they come through. Jose saying Larry's strategy is as bold as his tyres are bald. Nice bit of wordplay there from you. As Oscar says, why did he not pit? That's the question I'm asking, Oscar, and I haven't got an answer for you, I'm afraid. The only thing I can think of is that he was so busy recovering the car, he didn't realise he had passed the pit lane entry. But why was he full of fuel and on dead tyres? So he obviously went in the pits before and didn't change the tyres. And again, that could just be a casual press of a button, an accidental press of a button. And here we have Tequila Monkey on board with the reigning champion here, racing ill, but up to 6th place now. It's going to be fascinating how the stints of this race go through, because we don't know exactly how all the strategies are going to work out. This is the Ferrari for Kimi's racing team. A downshift mid-corner there for a moment. Wasn't too happy with the torque response from the rear axle. I think slightly gaining here on Nicky Lauda's Buckstein Transport Service car in front, as we run down beautifully downhill. Such a satisfying corner when you get it right, this turn 12, and that was close to perfect from Tequila Monkey. The light's starting to fade, if my eyes don't deceive me, or at least the clouds starting to appear here for the drivers. This is Tequila Monkey, reigning champion of the world in VR racing, as we've got a yellow flag on track. That is someone else has had a problem. Who is that? Tell me it's not Larry. I think it might be Larry again. Let's have a look. I hate to do this because Larry's a good guy. I really hate to do this to people. But everyone wants to know what the yellow flag's for. But look at these tyres. I mean, just a rejoin to the apex of a fast-flowing corner. Larry, please, for the love of all that is holy, go to the pit lane. Yes, he's made it. And everybody rejoiced. Larry has made it to the pits. So the question is, will he put some tyres on this time? Sorry, Larry. As Dummy leads the race and goes through the S's, presumably heading in towards the pit lane momentarily here. Dummy leads the race by 13 seconds. And many of the group here in SVR were predicting a Flash, a Beragos, a Bijan possibly win, and maybe even a Senor Fac, but Dummy has been astonishingly fast. Some drivers within the mega team will probably have known that he was holding on to some tremendous pace, but there's one thing being a very quick driver in time trial or practice. It's quite another to do it in the pressure of the heat of battle, and Dummy so far is doing a fantastic job. That brilliant X shape on the front of the Lexus just looks the absolute business as we run through the next two corners. I'm assuming Dummy will have too little fuel left on board to go for it. Ashley cheering on Dad. I think that's Larry. Protect the legacy, says Ashley. Which legacy are we talking about exactly, please? I thought Dummy may have just crossed a white line on entry. I hope he'll get away with it for his sake. But coming in with 3 litres of fuel left on the car. So Ashley, tell us more about the legacy of Larry as he runs through. And there is the new leader of the race, courtesy of an offset pit stop. Bijan pits now. Bijan takes over the lead thanks to Dummy pitting. Flash likewise. Red is picking up the dirt on the exit of the final corner there as he comes through. And we see Dummy then coming through and Nicky Lauda next up. So this is going to be close on pit exit. That is Dummy in the Mega Transport car out in 4th place. Oh, Tequila Monkey running long and deep into turn 1, it seems. I was trying to find an excuse for him there with the tyres. Indicating left. Like I say, probably doesn't know what's happening there on the car. Brake, 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 brake. Carbon copy of what we saw earlier on for Beragos, I think, actually. Although avoiding the barrier did Tequila Monkey. Comma Copa, your picture-in-picture driver, is in P7 at this stage. And heading through as we've got Sock, who's delivering the goods here today so far. Sock starting quite low down, but racing in the midfield at this stage in the Fanatec sponsored Jan Placht Interiors car. And there's a beautiful close-up of the fantastically designed car. They do get their premium wraps for discount rates thanks to the business model of Jan Placht Interiors. And I must say a big thank you to all of our sponsors. You can see them at the top of your screen cycling throughout the course of our race, but they have each put up the title sponsorship of our cars and help us all go racing, and they do a fantastic job. Speaking of fantastic jobs, we have Beragos, the father of the AI engineer Hector, who will be coming to the GT3 division in due course, but who featured heavily in our broadcast for the S1 division. Still very much in prototype alpha testing environment, but promises to be a tremendous resource for our drivers. One of the key problems with driving in VR is your lack of situational awareness, your lack of on-screen information, and there just aren't enough spots in the lobby for you to have a spotter to call out that information for you. They don't get anything like what I've got on screen right now for you. So it is very much a bare bones experience, and Hector is helping to bridge that gap. This is Dinosaur, down in 12th place at the moment with Mappy. At the moment, Coach Dave, 13th and 14th positions. So not what they were hoping for. Not what they were hoping for at all. So, Oscar, I'm afraid your most recent comment got retracted, either by you or by YouTube. So be careful out there. It happens. You can end up getting yourself comment deleted, I'm afraid. Bijan leads us by 10 seconds from the A+ driver Flash. Bijan struggling with that rear axle coming out of turn 12. Let's compare that perhaps, shall we, with Flash on newer hard tyres. So these strategies are going to be really fascinating. Flash does like a good apex cut through turn 12. Dummy taking a more conventional, conservative route through there. Red, I think, really struggling with understeer throughout the course of this race so far. That rear axle is constantly seen out in the dirt, and I think some additional rear downforce, or conversely less front downforce, might be the way to go. I believe the drivers are free to only change their downforce settings here. So I'm thinking that the GT3s, you can't change the front downforce, and I'm talking rubbish. So an adjustment to the rear will be what the doctor orders. Tequila Monkey racing in his golden monkey helmet and with his golden wheels, is trying to pick up what points he can on his deathbed. I think, frankly, Kim has set up the rig in the horizontal position for him so that he can expend the least amount of energy possible, as Kopa is chasing down Tequila Monkey now. Kopa on sort of medium age hard tyres. Tequila Monkey slightly more worn than him. You can do front and rear downforce and brake balance allow for. Thank you, Chris. And I think that's our fearless leader, Solshock, talking there. So certainly I'm aware that Solshock's first name may be Chris. There are rumours. But thank you so much to Chris for that info. Obviously, it's a splitter adjustment rather than and those dive planes can be adjusted on a GT3 car rather than a traditional racing front wing that you might say. And he's happy to lay claim to being Solshock, so that's great. And there's that Azul Racing. Solshock, talk to me about Tequila Monkey, our reigning champion of S1, having Azul Racing on the back of a new team, Kimi's racing team. Is that official? Have you allowed that to take place? I think it's number 4, his race number, here, as we head down into turn 12 with the Racing Supra behind of the Brokaga team. So yeah, what is that all about that we've got on the rear that Azul Racing? It's just an homage to his previous team. Did you design that for him, or has he gone a little off-piste? He snuck it in there, said Solshock. So you heard it first. As we get the driver who has been picture-in-picture the whole race so far. And I'm hoping he doesn't mind me having done this. I'm sure he doesn't. He's a good guy. Kopa is racing for the Brokaga team and is in the midfield at the moment. P7 for Kopa, and chasing down that reigning champion Tequila Monkey, who, like Red, is struggling through some of these corners. And there you have a Delesi going very out of shape. 2 Delesis perhaps going right to the edge of the circuit behind Senor Fac and Beragos. I do think we're looking at potentially the Porsches and the Ferraris having trouble. That's going to get some style points for Tequila Monkey. If anyone is going to do a count up for me for the season across all divisions, I'm going to give a Webbo style point to that sequence from Tequila Monkey. I did enjoy that one, as Beragos and Senor Fac are really fighting, particularly the rear axle on these Porsches. They need to be watching more of Kopa's YouTube tutorials and daily races. Round the outside of turn 5, tries Kopa. Is that going to stick? He's got the inside but less favoured route through into the S's, but wow, tremendous racing from these two. He'll have to focus on his exit next, but side by side they go in towards the corner. There just wasn't quite the grip on the exit there for Kopa. He couldn't get the car to rotate properly, and those rear wheels to stick. But now he's got the inside line, heading down in towards turn 12. Surely this is a gimme for Kopa. You'll know just after if you're watching the inset picture. But a great move from Kopa, and he finally converts that one. Patience being rewarded, and he gets up to 6th position. I hope that some of his deviant stablemates have shown up here. I know that Kuros Kai showed up to talk, and then I think that's a blue flagged Nicky. No, that's Nicky Lauda, giving up. Well, trying to limp to the pits for his fuel, I think, because that was for position. at that moment. He went off the circuit, then okay, he was just slow off the corner, and then couldn't get the car turned in. So it was just an error compounding into understeer, unfortunately, and I thought that was going to be into the pit wall for days in that manoeuvre, but he doesn't quite do it. Jose says, let's go Comacopa. So Jose's found a new favourite, or at least a teammate to be enjoying watching. Here is Flash versus Dummy once again. A mixture of tyres, and there goes Flash round. That's another style point there for Flash. Lewis and Jose cheering on Comacopa, but how about that one from Flash? Let's have another look at that. I'm sorry if I'm using the replay button too often, guys. Tell me if I'm doing too much of this. But here we go. Dirty air effect. Oh, it didn't look much from that angle. That's a shame. But then we've got Dummy leading the race now by 2.1 seconds thanks to that moment for Flash. And Comacopa ahead of Bijan. So Comacopa doing a tremendous job here. I wonder, can we catch what went down with those two? No, my apologies. So I was too late to catch what happened. You'll be able to tell me because you've got the picture-in-picture. But Bijan has been bested by Comacopa here, who moves forward even again. Ren's saying, all good. Oh dear, Bijan with another sideways moment there, and just letting Comacopa off the hook. I think the track may be starting to cool here for the drivers, and they're suddenly struggling to keep the tyres in good nick. Well, Bijan is on an outlap on hard tyres, so they are cold, it has to be said, and the sun is setting here in Lago Maggiore. Senor Fak is managing to wrestle some kind of performance out of this Porsche, but he's got to go into the pit lane soon for new tyres or fuel. Speaking of, here comes Beragos. I wonder if he's headed towards the pit lane. Still rocking that Mika Hakkinen helmet is Beragos. Rounds the final corner, which has been a bit of a bête noire for the Delesi squad. In towards the... The drivers really are pushing it incredibly close to that pit wall. I think we're going to have a pretty major accident soon enough. That kind of level of accident at that speed into the pit lane would be enough to split a car in half, I think. Certainly separate the axles. But Red is doing a great job as well in P6. And Uncle Pants there in P7 as well. Showing well at the moment. As the strategies are just slightly separating themselves, it is causing a lot of issue for just keeping track of where everybody is. Red is still flashing those hazard lights. Thanks to Kim for the kind words. Yeah, really appreciate everybody's support, the likes and shares and all the good stuff on the channel. I know most of you are subscribers and I appreciate every one of you, but we have just reached monetization on the channel, so you can now place a tip as fantastically QT did earlier on. You can now tip on the channel, which is great actually, because I've been putting in years and years of work on this and it's finally come to fruition. So in no small part due to the loyal SVR audience, absolutely. Sock is in 12th, chasing down Dinosaur right now, as Mappy is in that 13th place. Kim, can you give us an update on how Tequila's doing, or do you not speak? Can you not tell how he's doing at the moment? This is Larry, 3 minutes off the lead of the race, 1 minute 26 down on his teammate. And this is going to be a race to forget for Larry. A race of learning, a race of making your mistakes and taking all your bad luck, I think, out of this one. And I feel so bad for him, because a really nice, genuine guy, Larry, with ferocious pace. Not just a nice guy that finishes last. He's a ferociously fast driver as well, but very chill in the voice channels. So as you would expect from a Los Angeles guy. Here is Dummy then, ahead of Flash, 3.9 seconds in front, as QT says, please bother Tequila. I'm sure Kim knows what Tequila needs and doesn't need when racing, especially when ill. But Comacopa has got mirrors full of Bijan here. Let's follow this battle, as I think it's going to be return favours, trying to find the room. And what a slide there from Comacopa. Let's track that one in the replay, shall we? because he tried to turn into the corner. You'll see Bijan come up on the inside. It's Nissan versus Toyota. Komakopa tries to close the door. Bijan is there, and he holds onto it. And all that practice in the dirty daily races that Komakopa does, being made very, very useful for him in that moment. I've seen that time and time again on his channel. Not that what anybody did here was dirty, but in the daily races, he can feel like a pinball in a pinball machine sometimes, I think, Komakopa, but coping with that moment very nicely indeed. And yeah, mate, let me know what you're thinking about all these liveries, what your favourite is, especially if you've got a favourite that isn't your team allegiance. Senyorfak is doing a great job after a really troubling early sector of the race and a big spin and a creased up front Porsche. It's going to be very strange for Komakopa to see his favourite car in his mirrors, I think, and not be a teammate. But Senyorfak then in P5. It's all very quiet in Tequila's racing room as heading into the pit lane goes Senyorfak. No tyres, no fuel remaining. And this then is red for Kimi's racing team. Looking really good out there, the cars. I'd love to know, Kim, if you are Kim of Kimi's. And to what degree have you approved or disapproved of the liveries that we've got showing on the different divisions? I think they're fantastic, but whether they're strictly on brand or not, I'm not sure. There is a there is a sticker that I saw up close on one of the photographs that the drivers take post race that said, "Don't honk if you see my kid fall out," which I don't think is strictly on brand, but I'm sure having fun and enjoying the racing is very much part of what we want. I hope that that you show this to the kids as well at nursery, and you can show them some stills or some clips of the races. I'd love to hear what they have to say. We've got a couple of youngsters who like to tune in and give their opinions on the Deviant Racing League channel, Deviant Racing League videos that I do. And I'd love to hear some feedback from those guys as well. I'm not expecting them to watch a 1 hour long race, but you know, clips or pictures of the car would be cool. I'd love to see a picture on the wall as well of one of the cars. That'd be awesome. Nikki is in P9. Stop rambling, Webbo, for Bergstein. As Dummy pits from the lead of the race. So what does that mean for Flash? Well, Flash is coming in as well. 15 and 3/4 minutes remain on our 1 hour race. So Flash pits. Is this the time then that everyone needs to put their last pit stop on? What can Bijan do? This is intriguing me now. Bijan comes through the final corner. He has 2/5 of a tank of fuel on board. He has hard tyres that may go the distance. Is Bijan quietly strategizing his way to a fantastic potential challenge for the win here? I wonder. Certainly needs to rest the rear axle under control. Medium tyres go on for Dummy, and you are Kim's from Kimi's. Excellent stuff. Okay, well, let me know any information you can. That'd be great. I won't pressure you any further. As Dummy is in P2, Komakopa pits and comes out in P6. I think Dummy will be able to get Bijan. By the look of things, a difference in pace so far. Fastest lap for Dummy, 56.1. Latest laps, late 57s, early 58s. Bijan, all 59s recent laps. Best lap for Bijan is not even on screen at the moment, and he's on the hard tyres. But we've got Flash 10 seconds off the lead with 14.5 minutes left to go. Bodywork's on point, says Kim. Great. Okay, fantastic. There's some great pictures out there, and hopefully Tequila will be able to send them on to you. I mean, you could always join the SVR channel and have a look at the media gallery for some of these, but they do look fantastic. Babies urinating? Anyone on their baby on board sign as well? I don't know. Red is in fourth, ahead of teammate Tequila Monkey at the moment, and Monkey has now got Komakopa and Senyorfak behind. I'm going to have to refer to Tequila as Tequila this season because we also have a driver or a Discord member called Monkey. Yeah, we will try and stick with distinguishing marks. You can see on the picture-in-picture this battle that's happening at the moment as Senor Fat comes onto the back of Copa. I'll be looking for an opportunity into the next right-hander. Copa just shaping to the inside slightly there. Sorry for that horrible camera work. That really didn't help anything. As running then through the double right-hander they go. Just looking to see where each respective car, either in front or behind of you, are strong or weak, and what can you do to make the moves. Wow, great dive bomb from Senor Fak, who's going to try and get a twofer down the inside. That was tremendous work from him, and he's going to go all the way into the lead of the race. Into the lead of this battle. I was getting way ahead of myself there. Let's have a look at this maneuver then from Senor Fak. Dives to the inside. That was a really late move from him, and then it is just a drag race down towards just to be level into turn one, and easy done in the end from Senor Fak. So bringing himself further and further forward, and Senor Fak getting two cars in the space of one corner and a straight. Great maneuver and great racing, respectful racing from everybody. The headlights are on, the sun is beginning to set here for our drivers. I wonder if that is going to start affecting some visibility into some of the corners. I guess you'll probably know before I do with that picture-in-picture as Copa chases down this positioning. Copa, new medium tyres versus Tequila Monkey's second best, but not awful, hard tyres here, with just under 12 minutes to go before the checkered flag will come out and the drivers will finish the lap that they are on. This is a great move from Copa, making the move stick from the S's and using the momentum in towards turn 12. Tequila very much fighting with the tyre situation and illness as well. Dummy has the lead of this race ahead of Bijan, who now pits. So Bijan is not going to the end. Wow, I thought he might try it. Oh, that's a shame. So Flash, it is 6.6 seconds. Would you have tried it in the chat if you were in Bijan's shoes? Would you have thought, well, it's probably not worth the penalty of a pit stop, as he's guaranteed to lose positions? 2 seconds penalty on Flash's car is going to mean that the gap goes out to about 10 seconds, I would estimate, by the time we get down there. And here was a dark horse, a dark black horse for the podium contention, is Red. Now Red also on those used hard tyres. Bijan comes out on mediums. Surely Bijan should be able to make this one work. He's actually put a bit of fuel in the car as well, with 10 minutes 40 to go. Maybe it was more about fuel efficiency than it was about a tyre change requirement there. I'm not entirely sure. 10.5 minutes on the clock, and we're at that stage of low light now where the drivers can you can see the glowing front brake discs into the big stopping corners. Running then through and into the S's goes Bijan. And Senor Fak is some 25 seconds away from the lead of the race, but in 5th position. Copa still possibly able to head for 5th place. Here is Red versus Bijan. Nice easy maneuver, I think, for Bijan, and he goes up into that 3rd position. Bijan now 22 seconds away from 1st position, but 12 away from the lead with just under 10 minutes to go. Fantastic design here at the Buckstein Transport Service. I mean, it was always going to be a good design with the colour scheme that they've got on offer, but it really does look the business, as does this Jan Placht car. I would love to see a little golden motif on the nose of the Jan Placht Interiors cars. I don't quite know what I'm looking for, but I feel like I want something there. You'll have to let me know if you agree or you think it is absolutely perfect. A nice slide into turn 1, absolutely pushing a laquelle is our Lamborghini driver Flash. Dummy up in that lead position has opened a nice gap, and I think is now probably managing that gap, doing so in the Lamborghini, which is has been a really strong favourite car among many divisions of Gran Turismo GT racing, but has been a little bit nerfed in the recent recent balance of performance adjustments. So it's not quite as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty damn good. This is Red fighting with Senior Fac once again. Red is then having to defend these positions on these old hard tyres. Maybe a lesson for Red here in race management strategy. Is it good to be on the hard tyres at the end? And there's contact. There is definitive contact there, and smashing into the barriers goes Senior Fac. I presume that's going to necessitate some form of repair. Let's try and see this one. So they head down towards the S's and braking heavily, and then just, you could push that car around with a finger. They are so heavily loaded on the outside axle, but sadly for him, that is well, I thought it was going to be damage, but he's actually escaped damage on the back of the car. So losing 3 positions is Senior Fac. Tequila Monkey picking up 1, Komakopa picking up the other. Well, I suppose Red picked up one of those positions as well, and now Komakopa is staring at a potential 4th position. Komakopa on the mediums here, and the strong favourite to take the position as the cars come through, and actually just on traction out of turn 17 into the final corner, and it's contact. Can Red hold it on those old tyres? Is that karma revisiting Red by way at the hand of Komakopa? Possibly, but we don't approve of that at all. So we'll have to, the stewards I think are going to be very, very busy post-race. And I imagine that the first race in our season, I'm sure they'll be tolerating a little bit of rubbing is racing, but I think contact at the apex of a corner, of fast, high-speed corners, that is not really within the bounds of decency. So we shall have to see post-race, and if we do get adjustments, I'll try and leave spoiler comments in the comments section of the video and update you wherever possible. We'll slap a gold Webbo decal on there, says QT. Nice, okay. All the better. Fantastic. Yeah, that's what we like. Fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. That's what I was talking about. Beragos is in 8th after a difficult race, especially at the first part of it. I think Uncle Pants is doing a great job, as is Sock. They're in 10th. And Niki Lauda in the Buckstein Nismo is running 11th right now. The lick of flame coming out of the rear. Just 3.5 tenths, 2.5 tenths, 1.5 tenths between the two cars, and heading uphill towards the S's. This has got to favour Sock towards the inside, but then the run through the S's will not be particularly usable here for Sock, so he could still be vulnerable coming on out of the next corner. Let's ride on board then with Niki Lauda and see if we can get that toe going. No danger from behind for Niki, and running to the inside, a shape to the inside, causes a move there from Sock, and that was a beautifully done dummy from Niki Lauda. I absolutely love moves like that. Brilliant. He completely outfoxed Sock, in my opinion. Yeah, tremendous overtake there. Let's just watch that again, because that is absolutely class driving. He dummied to the outside, and then just on the switchback, even with a little tank slapper there, great move from the Buckstein driver to push that run through. Red has sadly had to pit, and he's put hard tyres on. A little splash of fuel for the remaining 5 minutes of this race. I thought he might be tempted with some softs or a set of mediums here, because he's got a whole lap of warm-up phase in the colder late afternoon conditions here to go through in the hards. Maybe he's run out of medium sets of tyres, but I don't think that's a thing in Gran Turismo. So Larry at the back, as I've said before, I won't dwell on his situation, but obviously getting on board and on terms with this fantastic wide Audi GT3 car is proving to be rather difficult for our Coach Dave drivers. They'll need to be making full use of their complimentary Coach Dave Academy access. I'm assuming it's complimentary for the team, or if it's not yet, it will be, to help our drivers manage the race pace, and they can do full-on race analysis with Coach Dave Academy. I'm fully sure. So Jan, while we're talking about Webbo stickers, let's make that Webbo sticker on the rear quarter gold instead of yellow, shall we? As out onto the grass goes Flash once again. Some 9.6 seconds between Dummy and Flash for first and second. I don't think that gap is going to change particularly. Bijan is looking good for third place at the moment with a 9-second gap out to Komakopa in fourth place that I'm sure you've been enjoying watching far more than I've been able to watch during the course of this race, picture in picture. But I think having a driver at least on camera really gives the impression to everybody just how much hard work this sim racing is in VR, especially over an entire hour of just constantly moving the head, moving the body, and trying to you'll find yourself leaning into corners and following the car, but the reduced visibility, the difficulty level is pretty huge for our drivers, and they do an absolutely standout job. I couldn't race for an hour for sure at my stage, so I take my hat off to all of them. Volvo Trucks sponsoring the Delesi Porsche here. And I think they also had Mercedes sponsorship on their S1 cars as well, but because they drive Mercedes and Volvos for the Delesi Logistics group. One of the Dutch says very, very good as the strapline. I like that too. Tequila Monkey doing okay here in 6th place. I'm sure we will see better performances from Tequila. But this one is certainly not a poor performance by any stretch. Beragos ahead of Red now. Red has put soft tyres on. I thought he might. So obviously the game just being a bit slow to update for me there. And crossing the start-finish line are several drivers at the moment. I think Dummy will be having to do an extra lap, potentially a glory lap. No, he will definitely be on his final lap now. So this is it, lap 30 of the 60. A nice even 2 minutes for most of the laps here on the grid here for the cars, as the unplacked Lamborghini of Flash is certainly still pushing hard and fighting the car here. Senior Dude said it's sweating so much in VR you'll think it's raining. That's a great line. Absolutely. Is that rain? Is that rain? Yes, indeed. Absolutely. We've got some close action happening here. Komakopa still trying to hold off Senor Fak. Komakopa, look at the marble pickup on the road as well for Komakopa and the Supra. So perhaps one of the closest battles on the grid. We've also got here Red ahead of Beragos. So both Delesi Porsches trying to pick up a position on this final lap of the race. And we've also got some close running happening just here for 12th and 13th position. Dinosaur is trying to take Mappy's 12th place, and this might be their final lap, looking at it. Let's just track with them, shall we? Because they might be about to finish the race here. 12, 11, 10. I think they might make the first. I think Mappy might make it through, possibly. Round we go. 3, 2, 1. Checkered flag, and he starts his final lap, and Dinosaur picks up the last lap. So fantastic. Well, talk of final lap. This is the final corner for Dummy, who has been utterly unbeatable in a crowd of superstars. Dummy shines brightest. He wins the first race of Lago Maggiore here at S3, the first ever GT3 race at the Simracing VR World Championships, as Flash comes through to take a hard-earned and well-fought P2 for Jan Placht Interiors. We have 5, 6 teams in the top 6. Here comes Bijan coming through for a podium for the Bergstein Transport Service car. And Komakopa, you've been watching him, his point of view all race long, and he comes through to pick up a really good 4th position, and bravo to our Frenchman Komakopa. Senor Fak is coming home with no fuel at all and gets home in 5th place, so it wasn't too much of a challenge there, as Tequila Monkey spins to the finish in 6th, finishing ahead of teammate Red in 7th. Kimi's 6th and 7th, the closest two teammates in the entire grid. That's crazy. We've got Beragos coming through in 8th position, just ahead of Niki Lauda. That was, I think, Larry finishing up there in between them. Or Dine... No, I will get there in a minute. Uncle Pants coming through the final corner. You could hear the cogs whirring there, couldn't you, in my addled brain. Uncle Pants 10th, Sock in 11th, Mappy it is who is going to be the final finisher, because Dinosaur was ahead and it was Larry. It was Larry who finished, but congratulations to Team Mega, to the Lexus manufacturer, and to the winner, Dummy, who has put in a tremendous performance. So fantastic from him. Flash and Bijan Komakopa super close to a finish. We'll take you through the provisional standings prior to race control and the league approving of those. I hope you've enjoyed it today. This is my third back-to-back commentary. I don't quite know why I signed up to do this to myself, but it's only a couple more racing weekends like this. A fastest lap, pole position, and the win for Dummy. A grand slam on his debut here. Dummy winning the race ahead of Flash, Bijan Komakopa, Senor Fact, Tequila Monkey, Red and Beragos, Niki Lauda, Uncle Pants, Sock, Mappy, Dinosaur and Larry are your finishing order. I hope you really enjoyed that. I thought it was fantastic. The first half was just absolutely incredible. Really a fantastic job from everybody. Congratulations to the organisers here of the SVR League and everybody else who make this happen today. We've had a fantastic day. It's been a really busy one here on the channel, but thanks so much everybody for watching. From us here at SVR, from me, myself, Webbo, thank you so much, and we will catch you on the next race day.